All right, man. Is Al Haymon ending the Terence Crawford um, and Errol Spence negotiations now? Um, so are they ending negotiations, man? So apparently, Rick Glazer said that they could be ending negotiations. I asked around, so I have an answer for you by the time I go live. If I go live today, which I expect to go live today, but how it goes. But thumbs up the video, hit the box from our playlist. Um, so but yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, it's July, so Crawford has been a free agent since the middle of November, right before Thanksgiving. I think a week before Thanksgiving. I mean, once you add it up, you say December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So that's seven and a half months. We in July today, so that's 7.5 months. So we almost going around a year and ain't nothing shake. And I told you, previously being reported that he is not going to give Terence Crawford a 50-50 deal. And they not budging on the money. So, I don't know if it's that, Errol Spence not budging on his side. Well, obviously we know Crawford not budging um, until he gets what he wants. So I mean, man, you know how I go, bro. We already knew this. Waited this long. It's rumors that Al Haymon was pushing Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman. Errol Spence was telling people that in his own mouth that was the plan. That's what Al Haymon really wanted, and that he wanted, and that he really sold out that I really want the, Terence Crawford fight. They're gonna say, I'm gonna tell you what the narrative gonna be. Crawford didn't budge, and at the end of the day, I never done a deal like that, so I can't really say what he should and what he shouldn't do. But I do know, a lot of people like Leon Muhammad said, and a lot of people believe this outside of what Leon Muhammad say. A lot of people believe this. They believe that he should never left top rank. The lawsuit could have always been there, but he shouldn't have left top rank. But you just simply don't know. You simply don't know when Bob Arum is lying, bro. You just don't. You know, you simply don't know when Bob Arum is lying. He tell you, he dog you out behind your back. You know what I'm saying? And he told Terence Crawford, Terrell Spence simply doesn't want to fight. You don't know when he lying and telling the truth. He said it himself. Yesterday I was lying. Today I was telling the truth. So you don't know if he lying or telling the truth. So, think about that for a minute. You don't know if this brother lying or telling the truth. So with them, them moving on, fine. I'm glad they moving on. But the number one thing about them moving on, is that what is Terence Crawford's B plan? What is his backup plan? And this is what Al Haymon wanted from the beginning. It wouldn't surprise me if Al Haymon really wasn't. It wouldn't surprise me that if Al Haymon really wasn't trying to find that money for this fight, that he really wasn't trying hard, because he told the man said this on the phone to the ops. He told them that that Al want me to fight Keith Thurman, but I told him I want the Crawford fight. So you think if Al Haymon really, really trying to make that fight, you think he really turning over every stone to find the money for the fight? No. He said sneaky-ish. Al Haymon Spence are attempting to pull in negotiations with Terence Crawford. Crawford's a very proud champion, rightfully so. He's not going to lay down on his principles to satisfy anyone. Crawford is a wrong demand affair. equitable deal. So hashtag boxing. So at the end of the day, bro, it's all right. It's almost a year of them talking. They was negotiating. What's so funny? People say, well, they started negotiating after the Ugas fight. They've been negotiating for long before the Ugas fight even came for Errol Spence. They stopped negotiations a few weeks before the Ugas fight, which made no sense. You stop negotiations and he get 3 belts. Come on. The biggest red flag without no information is when they didn't announce the fight after he beat Ugas. That was the biggest red flag. That's the biggest red flag, When they didn't announce the fight, no movement happened. Everybody saying patience is going to happen. Patience where? It's almost a whole year since Terence Crawford fought. When Terence Crawford had to leave his promoter to make the fight, red flag. Red flag. Second red flag. When you couldn't get a deal done before the Ugas fight, red flag. Red flag. When Tim Smith came out, I think before all of that, and said, we don't have the money. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Red flag. Flag on the play. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Come on. How we not going to have the money? How we not going to have the money? And you made me leave my promoter. He should have pulled out the negotiations right then and there. And if I'm a bet man and I don't have no inside information, I'll guarantee you, Crawford, I'm willing to bet you Crawford don't really have a backup plan. I'm willing to bet you a pretty penny that he doesn't have a concrete backup plan. I'm telling you right now, because he keep talking about how Jamil Charlo. Well, Jamil Charlo's with Premier Boxing Champions. He's with Premier Boxing Champions. So that can't be your backup plan. And he's not going to win. He's not going to win this battle. He's not. If he don't get this fight, even let's say he do get the fight per se, right? Then you got to worry about getting robbed. That's why he want to rematch Cross and so do Errol Spence. You got to worry about getting robbed, right? You got to worry coming to a foreign company. You never worked with them before. You can say he did business with Sean Porter, etc., John Molina, but they didn't put no money up in the fight. Bob Arum put the money up in the fights. So that's something to think about. Secondly, if you don't get the fight, your backup plan is Jamil Charlo. He with PBC. They can't give him that fight because guess what? It make Errol Spence look bad. How can you find the money for Charlo but not find the money for Errol Spence? And already people are already asking, how can you find the money for how can you pay Charlo $20 million? I mean $10 million, excuse me. When they was having people from the soccer game in the big arena next door at this with the Dignity Health Sports Arena, you was having, soccer fans come in and just walk in and take a seat. But you can't find the money to pay them. So, like I said, if I'm a betting man, and this is just my humble opinion on this, if I'm a betting man, I guarantee you Al Haymon ain't turning over every leaf. I guarantee you that he not turning over every leaf to make this fight happen. I guarantee you that. He's not doing his fiduciary duty. He's not doing, this is my opinion. Allegedly, whatever got used. I believe, in my opinion, that he's not going hard in the paint to exhaust every option to make this fight. He don't want this fight. He told the man that he wanted him to fight Keith Thurman, which that may not happen. He might move up and wait. People say, oh, Pacquiao coming back. I don't think Pacquiao trying to get in the ring and rumble with Errol Spence. Just my opinion. Just my humble opinion. Just my humble opinion. And if you put two and two together, what Rick Glazer's saying, it sounds accurate. Errol Spence got to get back in the ring this year at least one more time. Think about that. Errol Spence got to get back in the ring at least one more time this year. Come on. At least one more time. So how long can they continue to wait to put him back in the ring? Keith Thurman telling people before all of this, before he started crying about possibly not getting one of these opponents, he said that one of them got to see me. So we'll see. And he also could be moving up in weight. That's why you hear Deron Ennis and Keith Thurman. And Deron Ennis' father, Bozzy, said that. He said it was told to me that we going to fight either stay on us for the WBA title when the titles are relinquished, or we going to fight Keith Thurman for the vacant WBC. He said it after his last fight with Custio Clayton. Now you got people saying, that the fight is close to happen. We should hear something, by early next week. So we'll see if that date come and goes. Come on. If it come and goes, it comes and goes. They've been saying that for months now. We should hear an announcement. We should hear an announcement. I heard he signed up here. Well, come on, next week. Last week was 1 week. This week is another week. Next week, we should know something. Early next week, we should know something. But to me, this sounds about right. This sounds about right. This sounds about right. This sounds about right, bro. It's been going, negotiations been going on. What I said, 7.5 months, 8.5 months. And we heard nothing but people saying, the sister saying, stay patient and nothing, though. The deal can get done. All this positivity, man. I don't care what nobody be saying. Your actions gonna speak louder than some words. Your actions gonna speak louder than some words, bro. So that's just something that you gotta look at. Al Haymon's track record aligns up exactly what Rick Glazer say. His track record says what? He does not make big fights. He made us wait from 2008 to 2000, whatever it was, when 10, 12, 13, when Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao. His track record says that. Keith Thurman had to wait to fight Sean Porter till he lost his title to Kell Brook. Him and Sean Porter didn't fight for a real world title. It was the Reggie belt. Keith Thurman couldn't get Floyd Mayweather. He had to wait till Mayweather retired to his belt. When he fought Danny, got upgraded to a super belt. He had to wait to fight Danny Garcia. So come on. His track record says that. And you hear rumors that saying, if Crawford signed to Floyd Mayweather, the fight can happen ASAP. Obviously, Crawford don't want to sign to Mayweather. Barney said on the Boxing Voice, that could be a possibility. He don't want to sign to Floyd Mayweather. So be it. People say, oh, you should take less. Look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney is 23, 24 years old. Look at Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is around the same age. Of course, they can afford to take less to make fights happen. They are in the beginning of their career. When you're 33, 34 years old, like Terence Crawford, and you left your company, and they talking about compromise. I compromise, you rob me. If I compromise and I lose and I short my family, fuck it. That just lets you know one of a few things. Terence Crawford is financially stable, and he's done right with his money, so he don't have to take any fool's gold or any BS deal. 2, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to turn his career over to Al Haymon and not have no say so, and give up all his power to Al Haymon. Which if I'm him, I'll probably just retire after all that shit. But hey, he ain't ready to retire. He ain't ready to retire. So he ain't really hurting. It's just to the point where what you gonna do next? And my homie from Philly made a great point. He made a great point when he said Terence Crawford Should have picked anybody inside the top 10 of the WBO. Got a venue, got a license, or took his license, got an opponent, shopped at the NBC, cut out the promoter, cut out the major promoter, did a deal with NBC, ABC directly, ESPN directly, even if it had to be Bounce TV, put his own event together with anybody inside the top 10 of the WBO and see where it go from there. If I had to, hire somebody like Golden Boy to facilitate it, hire somebody like Kathy Duva to facilitate it, to assist it, cut them, give them a portion to help, facilitate it. If I had to hire a media company for credentials and all that, then that's just what we gonna have to do. They should have did their own fight and showed their own work. It's a lot of work, but that's what they should have done. This don't surprise me one bit, and I'm ready for this to be over with. I'm ready for this to be over with. I'm ready for this to be over with. And good. Hopefully this is true. Hopefully he moves on. Hopefully this moves on and it's whatever. Good. And people gonna say, "Oh, I told you Terence Crawford didn't want to fight," and I told you this. You gonna have a lot of people that say, people say, "Oh, I told you Al Haymon bad for boxing," which everybody know that. You know, people say, "Oh, Errol is scared, this, that, and the third." Al Haymon had no intentions on ever making this fight. He had no intention. Even Crawford said, "Well, I take what you're giving me." Then there's gonna be another barrier up there. Oh, you got to go to Dallas, or you got to do this. So when if Al Haymon wanted something to happen, he could have had it happen. He could have had it happen. So I mean, that is what it is. That is what it is. So just remember that. He has no track records of any major events outside of Floyd Mayweather. Canelo and Plant, they say they didn't do 800,000, but say that outside of with his organic PBC fighters, he has no track record of doing any real fruitful major fights. Without Manny Pacquiao, even with Manny Pacquiao, they didn't crack 900,000, a million. Even with Tyson Fury, they didn't crack a million. You know, So we talked about on why he don't want undisputed and unifications, because they get a big jump in pay. If Deontay Wilder was become undisputed and fought Anthony Joshua, he would have got 30. His pay would have went up from $20 to $30 million. Y'all, and people still out here supporting this clown. And Al Haymon, that's what he is, a clown when it comes to boxing. He's a clown. He's probably a good dude. When it comes to boxing, he's an absolute bozo. And they said allegedly he told Errol Spence that he got a plan to get his $1.5 billion back, and it don't entail you fighting Terence Crawford. So he's going to continue to work around the real problem, which just is he not making major fights. That's the problem. He doesn't want to make major fights. So that is what it is, man. And and we'll see if this hold true. If they come to an agreement and they make the fight, I believe it when them jokers in the ring. TB said it back. You gonna have to you have to drag Errol Spence in the ring, kicking and screaming. He's continued to be accurate. He's continuing to be accurate. And if he turn around and move up in weight, so be it, bro. The biggest mystery is Errol Spence has continued to have options. If he wants to fight Keith Thurman, if he wants to drag Sean Porter out of retirement, if he wants to fight Jerron Ennis, if he wants to fight Virgil Ortiz in Texas, those are all welterweight options. If he wants to go up and fight Tim Tszyu, Jamel Charlo winner, if he wants to fight Jamel, Tszyu, if he wants to fight Fondor, Charles Conwell, Austin Trout, whoever he wants to fight, he can do whatever he want to do. Errol Spence has options. Now, are those options easy? No. Ain't nothing easy about 154 pounds. He has a tough role, Fondor, etc. It's a tough role, Lubin. It's a really tough role, but for Terence Crawford, everybody, it seemed like Bob Arum is, if he He didn't go to Al Haymon, seeing that Bob Arum was gonna freeze him out. But Ben Salam say, "Well, I really don't have the money for him." Eddie Hearn said, "Well, I can pay him, but I really don't have the money. I don't have no opponents." So where is he gonna go? Best thing he can do is try to fight Virgil Ortiz, but then again, Ortiz fighting August 5th, and who knows if Ortiz gonna take the fight. So you ain't coming back into the ring till at least November, December, January at the latest with Ortiz. So then what? So like I said before, I don't know what it's gonna be. Crawford doesn't have to have a mandatory to May 2023, but hopefully they got a backup plan. If not, it might be retiring. But I would not retire till that Joker Errol Spence moved up and dropped his belts. Then I'll drop my shit and retire. So it is what it is. This is going to be the calling card of this era of boxing. This calling card is going to be. It's going to be a hypothetical. How we say, how would Roy Jones do with Marvin Hagler? This is going to be the calling card of this career of this. It's going to be a lot of what if Riddick Bowe manned up and fought Lennox Lewis. It's going to be a lot of that. A lot of it. A lot of it. So, and everybody play their part in the role into it too. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. All right. Hit my link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Stitcher. Also, my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal there. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.